Ladies and gentlemen, this is internet personality Vangelus with a review of Minami Kotaro Reborn, the child of the sun, Kamen Rider Black RX, as he appears in SHFiguarts. You may also recognize this suit as the design of Haim Saban's Masked Rider, the unfortunately failed attempt to bring Kamen Rider to the shores of America, in the same way that Super Sentai was brought to the shores of America. Nonetheless, you know, we will all remember that highly multi-ethnic family and their little Muppet, and that excellent theme song, Masked Rider. So anyway, check out those compound eyes! These ones are about twice as big as any other SHFiguarts is, aside from maybe Drake, and they are big and just gleaming and full of compoundness. I love it! He's also got a somewhat unique neck design in that, due to having a bit of a hunch-over chitiny design here, or chitiny if you wish to say it that way, he's got this extra clip on the back of his neck, and unfortunately it does somewhat hinder his posability. He can't really look up or down, but he still can quite happily look left or right. It's actually quite interesting how it all flexes around as you do that. I think it's pretty well done, all things considered, the limitations of the design. The rest of his sculpt is quite simple, much like Black. Black RX is only a little bit more detailed, but as I said in Black's review, everything that you need is here. I mean, this is the Black RX suit, and if you don't dig its simplicity, then you probably just don't dig Black RX. Everything's quite representative of what was there back in the late 80s. Really, I think the only thing I might hold against it would be the lack of clear plastic on the belt. The original Kingstone got a pretty nice job, a really cool deal with some sculpting under a red lens, but this one not so much, and to me that's a bit of a mark against it, because it feels too much like classic Sochok Henshin. And that's exactly what Figuarts tries to blow out of the water with its detail. So, a minor thing to pick on, but as I've said before, I'm a little bit harder on Figuarts' detail. Accessory-wise, he's got some identical hands to Black. His fists, splayed hands, and chopping hands are all exactly the same. But he also comes with holding hands, because Black RX is somewhat known for a very particular signature weapon. Something which I believe in Masked Rider was somehow changed into a laser gun, but that's going from my very hazy memory. Anyway, you can have him reach down towards his pelvis, and unfortunately you have to kind of fudge this a little bit because they don't have a hole through his stomach, but you can have him draw forth the reborn. And the reborn is really nicely done. This kind of makes up for the lack of clear plastic on his belt, because the reborn is a big old lightsaber. I mean, laser sword. And kind of akin to Black, instead of just being tampoed on, the little windmill design down here is actually sculpted in and then painted over. So, just more little details that I love about this guy. Check out his wicked 80s wristwatch. It's good stuff. Outside of the slight limitations on his neck, Black RX is just as posable as any other Figuart. Like Black, he has the Agito-style hips, and a lack of ball joints on the ankles, although he still has the hinge. It just means you can't go to some of the ludicrous degrees you can with, say, the Kabuto Figuarts body. But Black is still able to wield his sword or just use his fists to fight for justice to great degrees of effectiveness, and overall is a wonderful Figuart release. And for folks who wanted to get a retro Figuart but found Black to be just a little bit too boring, RX is definitely the way to go, because he's like Black, but a little bit more colorful, with bigger compound eyes, and a reborn. So really, you're winning in this deal. I think that the only marks you could level against Black RX would be the aforementioned lack of clear plastic on the belt, which is about as petty as you can possibly be in terms of nitpicking a toy. So again, if you're someone who is definitely not expecting some ludicrous standards quite to the level that I hold Figuarts to at times, then there's nothing to worry about. And aside from that, there's really no weaknesses I can cite on this guy. He's very solid. Much like Black, his posability and sculpt are not hindered by too many pointy details. It's all very simple, very effective, and very heroic. This is a small plastic Minami Kotaro, or I suppose Prince Dex, if you so choose to have this be your SHFiguarts Masked Rider. And you're getting a good deal on this guy. So I'd say that Black RX is one of the more highly recommended SHFiguarts releases. He's from later on in the line. He's got almost no QC problems I've heard of. Maybe like Black, there might be batches out there where the RX symbol is a little bit scratchable, but he's otherwise just absolutely effective and highly, highly recommended. Much like he is canonically, if anything, he is the rebirth and improvement of everything that the Kamen Rider Black Figuart had to offer, and both of them are incredibly well done, and among my favorite Figuarts releases to date. Anyway, this has been Internet Personality Vangelus, bringing you a look at the Child of the Sun, Minami Kotaro, Kamen Rider Black RX! And to end today's installment of Rider Figuarts Week, let's meet Minami Kotaro's stalwart companion. He's gone by more than one name, but at his core, he is a loyal and true friend.